Hello! Your AIO guy is back with another video full of learning Palo Alto Networks firewall configuration. So for today's video, we are going to configure SSL Decryption. Ano nga ba ang SSL Decryption at bakit natin ito kailangan? Okay, una, ang SSL Decryption ay isang feature ng Palo Alto Firewall para ma-decrypt o makita kung ano man ang nilalaman ng HTTPS traffic. So, ang HTTPS, ang ginagamit natin sa browsing. HTTPS, meaning isang secure connection instead of the regular HTTP, which is unsecure. So, to cut it short, if the data is sourced from within the network, there will be visibility into the SSL packet to find hidden applications and threats inside SSL traffic. Ibig sabihin, we will have the full visibility of a secure HTTP/SSL traffic. So, tara, mag-configure na tayo. Okay, so nandito na tayo sa ating jump server. Let's open up our firewall. Okay, as you can see, pati yung GUI natin, it runs on HTTPS. Okay? So, you might be asking, bakit nagpapakita siyang not secure? Dalawa lang yan. Either you have a self-signed certificate wherein the certificate issuer is not from a trusted source. Okay? So, let's check. For me, I have a certificate which is issued by my certificate authority, which is the root certificate authority. Okay? Pero bakit nagpapakita pa rin siya na not secure? Basically, yung CA natin, which is the root CA na OQMN jump serve-CA, hindi siya nakastore sa trusted root certificate authorities ko. Okay, so we will have a more understanding about that later on as we move through the steps. Okay, so let's log on to the firewall. Okay, so ito na tayo. So kung maalala nyo, ito yung firewall na kinonfigure natin yung high availability. So, since they are in HA, you only need to configure this one on the active firewall. So, if you remember, meron tayong active and we also have the passive firewall. So, only one firewall will be processing the traffic, and then the passive firewall will not be processing. It will act as a standby mechanism. So, there will be a direct connection, back-to-back connectivity between firewall 1 and firewall 2, wherein the hellos and heartbeats are being exchanged. So, if si firewall 2 ay hindi niya ma-receive yung hello and heartbeats ni firewall 1, it will immediately act as the active. Okay? However, pag na-detect niya na meron yung hellos and heartbeats, hindi magti-trigger yung failover functionality niya. Okay? So, now, let's configure the SSL decryption. First things first, anong kailangan natin? Of course, SSL, ibig sabihin, kailangan natin ng certificate. So, let's generate a certificate. Let's go to Device, Certificates. Click on Generate. Okay. Certificate name, SSL Decryption. SSL Decryption. Common name. Okay. Common name, ito yung magpapakita dun sa issued to. Okay. Humanetworks.lab. Signed by. Okay. Here you'll have an option to select the external authority. Okay, you can actually do it as a self-signed certificate. However, that is not recommended. It is always recommended to have your CSR signed by an external root certificate authority. Okay? For example, DigiCert. Okay, DigiCert is one of the most reputable certificate root authority. Okay, which are signing the certificate signing requests (CSRs). However, since these are very costly and most companies use their own PKI, okay, internal PKI, public key infrastructure. Okay, so for now, in our setup, I will create it based on my internal PKI. Okay, so I'll click sign by my external authority. Okay, and I'll leave the cryptographic settings as is and the expiration day as is as well. Then I'll just add a few attributes such as the country and the state. Okay, now I'll click generate. Okay, now kung makikita nyo dito, when creating the CSR or the certificate signing request, yung private key niya ay nakastore mismo dito. Okay, so what to do next is we need to export the certificate. Okay, save it. And then I'm going to open up my internal PKI. 92168 3 Okay, I'll request view the status, or I mean I'll click on this request the certificate and I'll click on advanced certificate request. And then yung CSR natin is we need to open it. Copy and paste. Okay, take note of these settings when you are using your internal PKI. Okay, under the certificate template, you are going to select subordinate certification authority. Okay, so if you remember during our initial setup, we also created the GUI certificate for the firewalls. Okay, however, we only selected the template as web server. Bakit web server? Because this itself, the GUI itself, is a web server. Okay, meaning there is no traffic related processes na dinidecrypt siya. However, since we're going to decrypt traffic, okay, we need to select the subordinate certification authority. Click natin yan, then let's click submit. Okay, yeah, certificate is issued. Now let's take the base 64 encoded, download certificate. Okay. Now, tandaan nyo din tong step na to. Okay? Whatever yung name nung CSR ninyo, okay, should be the name also when you import the certificate. Bakit? As you remember, the private key is stored only on this CSR. Okay? So, if you're going to import it using a different name, the public key, okay, the certificate itself will be there, but the private key is not incorporated, meaning the certificate you uploaded is going to be useless. Okay, so let's try it. Test 1, 2, 3. Let's try it with the different name. See? Okay, so meron tayong certificate. However, the private key is not incorporated, meaning this will be a useless certificate. Okay, so let's delete this one and let's do it correctly. What I'm usually doing is I'm opening this CSR. Okay, I do a copy and paste. Click import and then paste certificate name. Select the file. Okay, this is how to know if you've done it correctly. Okay, so if you're doing it for SSL decryption, I mean the subordinate certificate authority should see CA on the mark and the key. Meaning, na-incorporate ng tama yung public key and yung private key. When I say public key, it is the certificate itself. Okay? So, next thing to configure is we need to configure a decryption profile. So, go to Objects, scroll down, and click Decryption Profile. So, by default, there is a predefined decryption profile. So, however, you cannot edit this one. Okay? What you can do here, okay, I'll create a new decryption profile. Okay, then here I will have the option to do some blocking. So block sessions with expired certificates, block sessions with untrusted certificates, and so on. So this, okay, this configuration will be different in each organization. Okay, so once you finish that one, okay, you also have here other options. Okay, so it's like how you're going to handle the decryption request. Okay, this is where you're going to configure it. And then here also, what is the minimum version, what is the maximum version, what algorithms it will accept. Okay, so for now I'll be using the default. Okay, since there's no any requirement as of now. Okay, next we need to configure the decryption policy. Okay, in order for this to work, need to configure the policy itself. Now let's go to put a name. SSL decryption. Source will be my internal. Destination will be my untrust outside. Any options, decrypt. Okay, and then click SSL forward proxy. Decryption profile, pwedeng none, pwedeng default. For me, I'm going to use default. Okay, and you'll have also the log settings here. Okay, if you have a log forwarding profile, you can select your log forwarding profile, or if you don't have it, then leave it as is. Click OK. Okay, now let's go back to the certificate. Okay, on the certificates, meron tayong nakalimutan ilagay doon. Open the certificate and then click on the forward trust certificate. Meaning, itong certificate na to ang gagamitin para sa decryption. Okay? And then, i-click ko din yung forward untrust certificate. Meaning, itong certificate na to ang gagamitin pag merong untrusted certificate na i-decrypt siya. Okay? So, I'll click OK. And then, I'll commit. Usually, okay, in real world scenarios, the certificates of forward trust and forward untrust will be separate. But for me, okay, since this is only a lab setup, I'll use one same certificate for both. Okay, so let's just wait for the commit to complete, then we can test it out. Okay, commit is completed. If makikita nyo dito, mayroon siyang warning, cannot find complete certificate chain for certificate SSL decryption. Para ma-overcome nyo yan, kailangan nyo lang i-upload yung root certificate authority. Okay, let's check on it. Since na-download na natin yung certificate, let's open it. Open, and I'll just show it to you. Okay, so issued to, this is the CN. Okay, CN name, and then issued by Ocumen Networks-CA. So what we're going to do, let's view certificate, the root CA, and let's copy it to file, and let's upload it to the firewall also. Okay, let's go back to the firewall. Import. Okay, since this is a root CA, you don't need the private key for this one. Okay, root CA, browse. Okay, kung makikita nyo, there will be a hierarchy for this one. So root CA will be the main root CA, then followed by the subordinate certificate of authority, subordinate CA, which is the SSL decryption. Ibig sabihin, this certificate is signed by this certificate. Okay, let's commit once again. Okay, so as you can see, wala na yung warning, meaning nakita na niya yung full certificate chain. Okay, so let's test this out. Let's open our test machine. Let's try google.com. Okay, your connection isn't private. Bakit? Error, certificate authority invalid. Okay, click advance. Okay, so meaning yung certificate authority natin is not supported or not installed on the on the trusted certificate store. So actually, this is a good indication. Bakit? Good indication meaning gumagana yung configuration natin. So if I click not secure and open the certificate, I'm able to see, okay, that the google.com is now being signed by my subordinate certificate authority. However, my root CA is not yet installed on my machine. Okay, so what they're doing is they're doing, since you see on an organization, you have the Active Directory. So what they do is they push the certificate using the GPO, right? So they push it, and then they will not have this issue. Otherwise, okay, we need to install the certificate manually. Okay, so let's check on that one. Copy to file. Next, page 64. Next. Let's go to desktop. Next. Okay. Sub CA. Open it. Install certificate. Local machine. Next. Yes. Let's store it in the trusted truth certification authorities. Next. Finish. Okay. Now let's try once more. Is it still the same? Yeah, okay. It's still the same because let's check again. The root CA. Okay, root CA. Okay, we also need to install the root CA. Now, in order to take that one, I need to open this one again. Page 64. Browse. You don't usually do this, okay, on production in an organization, because the Windows team, what you're going to do is just you give those two certificates to the Windows team and they're going to push. Okay, so let's install this root CA. Install local machine. Yes, I want to place it in my trusted. Okay, next. going to open a new site. There you go. So let's click on it. This padlock, it is showing now connection is secure. Let's open the certificate thing. Okay, now we can see it issued by ocumenetworks.lab. Okay, so meaning, okay, this is the full chain. So this is going to be my root CA, and then followed by my subordinate certificate authority, which is signed by my root CA, then CNN, which is signed by my sub CA. Kaya sub CA ang kailangan natin kasi kailangan niyang i-decrypt kung ano man yung certificate nung mismong website. Okay, so let's check one more time. Google.com. It's because of the cache. Okay, let's open a new private window. Okay, connection is secure. Okay, issued by. Okay, once nakita mo na yan, meaning our configuration is good. Okay, now if you want to check it out, okay, you can go to the policies and click on the decryption policy that you created. You should be seeing some hit counts here. Okay, meaning you are hitting this policy. Okay, now let's go to monitor and go to decryption. Okay, here you're going to see all the logs that your decryption policy has decrypted. Okay, so since this is already working, okay, another thing to configure is the no decrypt. Okay, kasi hindi naman lahat ng traffic ay kailangan mong i-decrypt. Okay, so ano yung mga hindi mo dapat i-decrypt, such as actually it depends on the organization needs and requirements. But for me, financial institutions, banking, okay, this one ayoko i-decrypt. Okay, how are we going to do that? So simply, we can just clone this one. Okay, I'll put it before the on top as well. Okay, no decrypt. Source, designation, destination, service, ano, what type of service you want. Okay, I'll just put category here. I don't want to decrypt financial services. Okay, ano pa, ayaw nating we also don't want to decrypt some sports maybe. I'm not sure. As I said, it depends on your organization needs. Okay, so for now yan muna. Options, okay, no decrypt. Action will be no decrypt. Okay, click OK and then commit. Okay, let's now try it. Okay, financial institutions and sports pa nilagay ko doon. Yes, it's going to be sports. NBA.com maybe, and abcb.com. Ano bang sports? FIFA. Oops, it's a cache issue. Cache din to. FIFA.com. Okay. So makikita nyo, it will not decrypt this FIFA.com because it falls under the sports category. Okay. At dyan nga po nagtatapos ang ating tutorial. So thank you for watching. Please don't forget to click the like, share, and subscribe button to see more of my videos. Thank you so much once again and have a wonderful week ahead. Bye-bye.